Okay, hello everyone. Konnichiwa minasan. I hope my Japanese pronunciation and intonation is okay. So, this is my first video in a series of videos that I'd like to talk about teaching in Japan. I know there are many of these kinds of videos on YouTube already, but I figured I might as well give my 2 cents on the topic. So, I'll start off with the basics. In Japan, there are two kinds of teaching. English teaching, I should be specific. There is ALT teaching and eikaiwa teaching. Assistant Language Teacher. This is probably the most well-known position because of the JET program. And the JET program is a national program that provides native English speakers to be placed in various elementary and junior high schools across Japan to help teach English. Besides the JET program, there are many other kinds of ALT positions, either through getting an ALT position at a dispatch company, which is similar, I guess, similar to the JET program in the fact that there is influence across the nation. So, dispatch company is a company that contracts with a school district and tries to provide native English speakers. So, dispatch company, or like what I'm doing, is directly through the city's school district. So, the Board of Education. That's what I'm doing right now. And I'm sure there are other kinds of ALT positions, like with private schools and stuff, but I don't know the actual, I guess, info on that. But for now, I know of two, dispatch companies and directly. I guess three, I mean, if you count JET, but I'm not going to count JET because I'm sure if you're watching this video with the intent of trying to teach in Japan, you already know about the JET program. So I'll just stop talking about that. As an ALT in the classroom for elementary school, you are usually the only native English speaker there. And it's just in the teaching time, okay? It's going to be you and the Japanese like homeroom teacher, and on a good day you will teach together, like 50% you, 50% the Japanese teacher, working together teaching English. But sometimes it's more you or sometimes it's more them, but it varies and you just kind of have to adapt to it. So it's the two teachers plus 26 to I have one class that's actually 40 kids. So 26 to 40 kids or whatever, and it's just you two teaching English for 45 minutes or 50 minutes, something like that. And my schedules at the elementary school, I do not teach more than 5 lessons. At junior high school, not junior, my junior high school, there's two ALTs. One that works on Monday and Tuesday, and then there's me that works there on Wednesday. So I don't actually work with this person, but sometimes our classes that we teach overlap with each other. So at junior high, it's you and the English teacher, like the specific English teacher. Say junior high school is more writing and more grammar and more like spelling tests and whatnot. So they're definitely more into the textbooks. In elementary school, there's really no textbooks except for 5th and 6th grade, which those textbooks are not really textbooks. There's barely any words in them. So it's mostly pictures and stuff like that. So yeah, junior high, I, again, don't teach more than 5 lessons a day. Today was, I guess, my busy day. I taught 4 lessons. That's the most I've ever taught in one day at the junior high school. What's cool about working for the Board of Education is those holidays that you would get off, I get those days off no matter what. I still get paid for them, you know. I believe some dispatch companies, even though it's a paid holiday, you might get a pay cut. Like summer vacation, for example. You would get like, I don't know, 10% pay reduction or something like that. I've heard of stories where people still have to go into the school during summer vacation sometimes, because the normal Japanese teachers do. So dispatch companies require you to do that also. But for the Board of Education, I don't have to. So I don't have to go into school for summer vacation. I still get the full pay, and I don't know, it's just great. So um, even within the ALT position, dispatch companies or a direct to the Board of Education hire, it's very different. So definitely my position is much sweeter than a dispatch company ALT. Second kind of English teaching in Japan is at an eikaiwa. Okay, and an eikaiwa is an English conversation school, just like a dispatch company for ALTs. And eikaiwa has influence all across Japan, and these kinds of schools are not at an elementary or junior high school or high school. Like they don't get into grammar, they don't get into spelling, they don't get into writing, they don't get into reading. It's pretty much all conversation skills. I mean, sure, like they read the book in order to help them converse, but really it's just conversation. So that's very different from elementary and junior high school in the classroom. The English conversation schools usually have adults as your students, and of course there are children's lessons also, but this one, it's, it can be adults or children lessons. And if you're a teacher there, you don't really get to choose which one you want to teach. They put you in a position, and in one day you could teach, for example, 5 adult lessons and 2 children's lessons. You teach about 8 lessons a day, which is like a lot, I think. So 8 40 or 50-minute lessons a day. I don't know with all eikaiwas, but my eikaiwa that I was at, for days off, this really bugged me. If you wanted a day off, you had to usually request it like 30 days in advance. And sometimes if there's like a national holiday where the school is closed and the day that it's closed is a work day for you, they are telling you you should switch those days with one of your days off, or however many days off you're taking. For example, if the days off are, the holidays are Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and those are your normal working days, they want you, oh, they tell you to spread those days off into one of your weekend days that you would normally have off. So if I have Monday, Tuesday off, I would have to work on a Monday, like for 3 Mondays in a row, for example. How could those be days off if I'm just working those days sometime else? So I never really agreed with that, but that's just the system. Like if you're very flexible about it, then, good for you. But some people are just really okay with it. Like I said, if you're very flexible and it doesn't matter to you, then okay, good for you. So that's eikaiwa teaching. 99% of them require you to be a native English speaker. I've heard stories where certain companies actually hire some people who have English as their second language. I think for the other companies, it's pretty much native English speaker or we're not hiring you. The second requirements that these companies or these positions look for, You just need a university degree. It doesn't have to be in English. Just mine was. So as long as you have the degree and you are a native English speaker, you pretty much fulfill the requirements of these two various positions. Another requirement that's not for most is actually Japanese proficiency. My first job, which was at an eikaiwa, they required 0 Japanese skills. So, lucky for me, I knew maybe 0.001% of Japanese. So, yeah, basically non-existent. But my second, or current, job required a basic level of Japanese, which after being here for a year, like at the time of switching jobs, I think I had a basic knowledge of Japanese. So yeah, I know if you look online at like job postings. By the way, I'll link the website that I searched on when I was still in America, which is Gaijinpot. Okay, but anyway, continue. It'll show the Japanese proficiency level that you need. Most of the time it'll say somewhere in the description. What else? So the eikaiwa and ALT have the same requirements. What else? The same pay-ish. So from what I looked at online, the average pay is about 220,000 to about 270,000 on average. So I don't think I've seen anything lower than that, and I don't think I've seen anything higher than that. I guess that's the basics of the differences of English teaching in Japan. Eikaiwa and assistant language teacher. I'll put a link to Gaijinpot down below, and you can check it out yourself. It's definitely just worth a look if you're interested. And if you're not interested, well, then why are you watching this video? Really, that's really true. So that's all, because my camera keeps turning off and it's getting me a little angry. So I'm just gonna end this video now. If you have any questions or comments, put it in the comment section down below. Or, yeah, you could tweet me. Like, I've actually been noticed a little bit on Twitter. So, I'll put my Twitter handle, whatever it is, down below also. And, yeah, I believe the next video I have planned for teaching in Japan, I will give some examples of what my elementary school lesson planning system is like. Alright, so stay tuned for that. Alright, bye.